Scrapbooking Personal Shopper for November of 2011. We'll open up the box and open up the tissue and see what goodies await us. It is like Christmas every month. Now, our embellishment pack consists of several things. There are some die-cut tags, and these are a nice weight. And there are 2 designs, and you get 2 of each. There are also some ribbons, and one is a twill that's printed with music notes, which is going to be handy this month. We also have some with silver. It's beautiful blue. We've got some sheer ribbon and also some fuzzy ones, so that's going to be interesting. Our full color newsletter has all of the instructions, all the step-by-steps, as well as the more ideas that I'm about to show you. The DVD comes every other month, and that's in that DVD. Ann and I will walk you through the projects, we'll demonstrate some of the techniques, and give you some hints and tips, so that's fun. Members get a single card and a matching envelope, and it's great to have these to kind of expand our paper crafting abilities. Now this month, being November, we're going to be looking at Christmas and Tweet Christmas Paper Toll. Now this is a sheet. It will come in a bag, but this way you can see it without the reflection. And these are all die cut, so you're going to pop them out and put them together with foam tape. So this is quite extraordinary. We also have some scrapbooking dazzles. Now there are 3 sheets in this pack, and I'm going to turn it over so you can see what these designs look like. There are 124 pieces in this one pack, and as you can see, there's borders, focals, all sorts of embellishments, and we're going to show you a couple of extra things to do with this. Now, our papers, let me lift them out, come to you exclusively. So this is what we're calling flannel, winter flannel, and there are 2 each of the designs I'm about to show you. This one has this wonderful bracket around the edge and this absolutely gorgeous border at the top. Coordinating with it is a plaid, as well as an all-over snowflake, as well as this kind of purple with the smaller snowflakes. We've got a wood grain that looks quite interesting, and then a blue, and as I said, there are 2 of each. Now, our vintage Christmas papers are going to come to you, and they're going to come in the package, and what's nice about that is that you're going to get some extra ideas on the back. I hope it's okay to give you, gosh, 1, 2, 3 scrapbook pages and a card idea in addition to everything that you're getting this month. Now, in this paper pack, let me show you one each of the papers. You're going to get 2 of them. So it is this wonderful poinsettia. You can see there's a ghosted bird cage back here, some text that's actually flipped over, so it's really meant to be more of a texture behind it. And it's got this gorgeous lace all the way around all 4 sides. Now, in addition to this sheet, there is the red that's got the swirls, it's just becoming such a great look. We also have this border treatment, and it's just right around this corner, right around this edge rather, and we also have kind of some texture going on in the rest of that sheet. Now we have an Oliver poinsettia, and it's kind of nice to get this teal in here along with the red and green. And then we have a tan with the green, and then that same Oliver poinsettias, but we've got it in brown as well as teal in this paper pack. So 2 each of all of those papers. In addition, this month, members are getting the Snowflake Silver Color Me, and you're going to see how this one sheet can go a long way in creating with our papers. We've got a Let It Snow repeated pattern and a spattered purple. That's lavender. And then we also have some music notes. This one is brown and it's got a red border, and this one is red all over. It's kind of a distressed look. So those are our papers for this month, and let's see what we can do with them. In our first double page layout, Susan uses 5 of the 6 designs that are in what we're calling the winter flannel selection. So here is the first page, and she certainly adapted those papers beautifully. The tan snowflakes is her base paper, but look how she's maximized the other papers. You can see this 4x6 photograph is matted on the brown, then on the blue, and then on the plaid. And you know, what's really nice in using a plaid is because you can make it equidistant just by following the lines of the plaid. And then she created a border using the overall star pattern, or snowflake pattern rather, this one. And so it makes quite a stunning border at the bottom. Then Susan's gone back and she's cut out individual snowflakes from that same pattern, and she has lifted them up with foam tape, and then she's added a little dazzle from the scrapbooking dazzles that are also included in the center of that snowflake. Now over on her paper, she has also added some more of those individual snowflakes. Now let's look at the tag. The tag has been printed on, and we talk about that in the DVD, how to do this with your printer. And then she's also done some more on the side. So here we've got the border going horizontally. Down here we have a plaid border going vertically with some more of the snowflakes. Now in this particular layout and the companion page, which I'll show you, Susan is using a journaling technique called He Said, She Said. Now, you may be familiar with this in your own lives when two people experienced the same event but saw it slightly differently. So it's really fun to read about how each of them saw their first skiing trip together and the mishap that happened, and whether or not it should have been preceded by lessons. So there seems to be a difference of opinion. It's a great journaling technique. Another technique that Susan did is she cut one of the tags in half and used it to create her title and her journaling on two different photographs, and I think it just looks quite stunning. Again, she's used that purple snowflake paper as a border and also as a giant mat, and then another kind of band across her photo. So it just looks really, really fun. And that very soft feeling fiber has been used as an accent, kind of like a ribbon, but it just works so well with these flannel papers. Now, our second combination is using that all-over bracket paper. And what's neat about this, let me show you the papers, is that with the border along one side, you could elect to have the border going in the middle. You could have it top and bottom. You could have it on the outside. Lots of different applications. In this particular case, Lodell has decided to use them both at the top for both of our papers. And in this case, she's done a combination of not only the plaid and that same snowflake, but also she's brought in the silver Color Me, and that's become a giant border. Now, many of these pieces of paper have a corner chomper that's been used to round the edges, and that really mirrors the bracket paper, the design on that big paper. I also like how she's done a little piece right there at the top. Now, also, here is another of the tags used to do her title, and it's just been threaded with those beautiful fibers. And on her coordinating page, the same thing has been done. You can see the use of the plaid toward the center of her page, followed by a little bit of the blue, and then the silver as a horizontal piece. Lodell has also taken some of the silver Color Me, and she's cut out various snowflakes and added them just along the border of her paper to add some glittery shine to her layout. Works really, really well. Now, these vintage Christmas papers are used here by Anne in an absolutely beautiful setting. Now, the scrapbooking dazzles tend to be larger pieces, and that's why they work so well for scrapbooking. But Anne has not only combined several of papers, so she's got the teal with the poinsettias as her background, but then she created this very fun border out of two of the papers, and you can see how she's offset them, so the red is not in the center of the tan, but rather offset. And then in the center of her page, she has done the brown poinsettia background paper. So she's really done an interesting combination. She's matted her photos on the red music paper, and then you can see the giant scrapbooking dazzles here, how I love how it overlaps the photograph, not only with the tree going over the tree, but as well as a little corner treatment and just even the antler on the reindeer coming up. Now, Anne has done a very neat technique where she has shadowed her dazzles by taking one of the pens, either a brush marker or the new Spectrum Noir pens, and just going right along the edge. And you can see how it really highlights it, especially when it's used against a busier background like this one. So it's very easy to do, just to go right along the edge, and you can see how that really stands out on that background paper. Now in this case, we're also showing a border treatment, and the border treatment of these scrapbooking dazzles is really a significant swirl that's attached to the border, and it's just quite a spectacular look. Now in this case, they're talking about their family traditions, and the coordinating page has the same treatment where the brown poinsettia papers, the full sheet, she's done the same blocking into it with doing 2 papers, and then the green is on the inside. And she's done the same thing of backing or going around her dazzle where it's on the busier paper. Up here, she's also done it where it is on the red paper. It doesn't quite need the definition that that inking provides, but it is a beautiful look. Now I just want to make note, Christmas is here. Blessings is evacuated out of this dazzle, and we're going to see where that blessing appears a little bit later. And Anne has already done a beautiful job of using all of those little snowflakes just kind of floating on her page. And our second page, duplicate layout, or our double page spread rather, is done by Lene, and she's talking about the sounds of the season. So this is another journaling technique, and what she's captured on paper are the sounds of the season, just as she's written. So this is where our paper toll is coming in with that cardinal, and it has music behind it, and that goes beautifully with the paper that's been added. And that's, each of those layers is just punched out and put together with foam tape. It's nice to see that on a scrapbook page, a significant size. You can see it by what my hand is, and it just does a great job of adding some dimension without adding very much bulk, because it's very lightweight. Now, the sounds of the season might be the roar of the fire, might be the quiet of being outside, and look how those dazzles are coming in. But wait, the dazzles are gold in the paper pack, or in the pack, but here they're kind of patina. They've got a brown tone. Well, that's been done with a brown stays-on ink pad, and we'll show you that on the DVD. And look how rich that looks. There's the bird cage that's on, not only on the paper, you can see it's kind of ghosted up here. You see that that's the bird cage, but it's also been backed with the paper that's got the music notes on it. Now, our companion page has the photograph, the rest of the photograph. You see how this one has been kind of cut off here? Well, it's because it goes on to the next page. So when you're doing that, you just want to position your photograph carefully, but I think it's quite fun. You can see here's the sounds of perhaps the laughter and the talking of the season. We've got a photograph of jingle bells and a photograph of a child's recital. All of that is the sounds of the season. We've got more of the dazzles that have been tipped in brown with that brown stays on, going into some that have been backed with paper, and then another of our paper toll that has been placed overlapping this photograph, and it does a beautiful job of bringing the red from the poinsettias into our page. Now, in this particular double page spread, you can see that the corner treatments are on the opposite corners, up here and down here. Now let me just bring in those papers and show you that you can do a couple of things. You could allow them to be in the middle of the spread and let them kind of make this wonderful swoosh, or you could have them, let's see, the other corners, or you could have them just mirroring each other on the side. So anything that you want to do will work perfectly with these papers. Now let's look at our more ideas and our card. Here's our card, and it again uses the silver color me. Now we're getting all of these out of that one sheet. So this is just the front of our card. Susan has actually cut around the design, and then she's put it onto that brown spattered paper. She's cut away the front of her card, and then she's taken more of the snowflakes and cut them out, matted them on the lavender, and place them with foam tape onto her card. So you can see how that's looking. A little punch out of the blue is put into the center of it, and you can see how the Let It Snow paper is so effectively used on the inside and more on the of the Silver Color Me also on the inside. Now into our more ideas. This is just a note. This is the Serif surface, and you can see that the third paper toll is on the front of it. I love how the twill is wrapped around it. It just works beautifully with the music notes on the paper. And this paper comes just like this. As you might remember, it's already got that lace edge onto it. This little flap can get tucked underneath the ribbon, and when you open it, it can hold a gift card. And there's a little piece of the poinsettia peeking out, and then a little tag on the inside also. So this works very nicely as a gift card. Speaking of something that works very nicely, here is one of those tags simply folded to become this absolutely charming purse. You can see some dazzles on there, and the inside has been colored with a gold stays-on. And isn't that charming? It would be great on a card or on a scrapbook page. Now let's look at some other ideas that we can do with the things in this month's kit. Here's an absolutely wonderful matted photograph. Now, this blue area you won't recall because this is on the Silver Color Me, and now it has been inked with 2 different colors of ink pads, and the directions will be in the newsletter. And you might look here at this border is silver. Well, we didn't have any silver dazzles, but the gold ones can transform into silver with the silver stays on. That works beautifully, and it matches the Silver Color Me perfectly. We've got a little swirl going across the photograph, a little bit of the fiber there, and another of the silver tap dazzles down below. Over here, we have another of our tags, and it too is holding some silver dazzles. Look at this wonderful reindeer, fits perfectly. It has been backed with the dark blue, and here are the blessings that we had that were pulled out of that dazzle piece on our page. We've also got some silver right up there. Again, some of the fibers are formed into a bow right at the corner. Isn't this spectacular? This is also the Scrapbooking Dazzles, the Vintage Christmas, how they've been placed on green paper and then cut close to the edge. And then with a photograph in the center, it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece. Placed on the red Vintage Christmas paper with more of the Scrapbooking Dazzles on each side. It's just stunning treatment. Now here's a very stunning card, but so simple to make. This is one of the papers from the Vintage Christmas. Just covered the front of our card. We've added a dazzle here, magic. This is one dazzle. Added a few snowflakes, tied a bow and put it on. You've got it done in about 10 minutes. On the inside, simple and yet very effective. I think you'll agree. So our November personal shopper is full of wonderful Christmas and winter treats.